Everybody has its odd moments, the little glitches that surprise, confuse, or even annoy you. Maybe it's a hiccup in the middle of a serious meeting or a sudden shiver when you're not even cold. These glitches aren't random. They're your nervous system's way of doing weird things. Sometimes it's a misfire, sometimes a sensory mix-up, and other times your body just reacts too fast or too slow. Let's explore some of the most common and bizarre body glitches you've almost certainly experienced, but maybe never fully understood. 1. Eye twitching. Ever had your eyelids start fluttering relentlessly without any pain or obvious reason? That's called myokymia. Typically triggered by stress, fatigue, or excess caffeine, this involuntary twitch is your facial nerves short-circuiting for a brief time. Your eyelid muscles spasm on their own, almost like a mini protest of overwork. Though harmless, eye twitching is a frustrating reminder of how stress can quite literally show on your face. Usually it fades away, but annoying while it lasts. 2. Leg cramps. Ever had a random muscle twitch that feels like your body is trying to send you a secret code? Those little jerky movements are called fasciculations. They're usually harmless and often caused by things like stress, fatigue, or even dehydration. Think of them as your muscles tapping out, hey, something's a bit off down here. But then there's the bigger, meaner cousin, the dreaded Charlie horse. If you've ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by a sudden, stabbing cramp in your calf, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It feels like an invisible hand just grabbed your muscle and twisted it like a wrench. The usual culprits are dehydration, low electrolytes like potassium or magnesium, or just plain overworked muscles. But sometimes, just to keep life interesting, it happens for no obvious reason at all. The worst part is how the muscle seems to freeze up and refuses to let go until you stretch it or wait it out. It's basically your muscle misreading the instructions from your nerves and locking into a painful on position. A tiny glitch in communication with a whole lot of pain attached. The good news, as nasty as they feel, most cramps and twitches aren't dangerous. They're just your body's way of reminding you to stay hydrated, rest up, and maybe stretch a little more often. 3. Ear popping. You've probably experienced your ears popping when a plane takes off or you climb a mountain. That's your eustachian tubes opening to balance air pressure in your middle ear with the environment. Sometimes the tubes don't adjust quickly or overcompensate. That causes random or stubborn popping sounds or a muffled sensation. Your body trying to regulate pressure but missing the mark. A simple yet strange pressure glitch that affects many travelers. 4. Stomach drops. You know that flip in your stomach feeling when a roller coaster dives or an elevator suddenly drops? Here's what's really happening. Your whole body moves fast, but your soft organs, like your stomach, take just a split second longer to catch up. That tiny delay makes your body feel out of sync. Your brain notices this mismatch and goes, whoa, something's off, and sends a quick rush of adrenaline through you. That's what creates that fluttery, nervous sensation in your stomach. The truth is, you're not actually in danger. It's just your body's way of buffering when motion changes suddenly. That stomach drop is totally normal, and part of what makes rides and sudden drops feel so thrilling. 5. Jaw popping and clicking. Ever yawn or take a big bite and hear a click in your jaw? That's your TMJ, the hinge connecting your jaw to your skull. If the little disc inside shifts or the joint gets irritated, you get that popping sound. Most of the time it's harmless, like a squeaky door hinge, but if it comes with pain or your jaw locks up, that's when it's worth checking out. 6. Motion sickness. Ever get that queasy, dizzy feeling when you're on a bus or in a car staring at your phone? That's motion sickness. Here's what's happening. Your inner ear is picking up all the bumps and turns, but your eyes are locked on your screen, telling your brain you're sitting perfectly still. The mixed messages confuse your brain, and it basically hits the nausea button. That's why you end up feeling dizzy, sweaty, and sometimes even sick. It's not that anything's wrong, it's just your body's sensors failing to work as a team. 7. Goosebumps. Goosebumps aren't just a cold weather thing, they're your body's built-in reflex kicking in. Here's how it works. Tiny muscles at the base of each hair follicle contract, making your skin tighten and your hairs stand on end. Sure, this can happen when a chilly breeze hits you, but it can also pop up in big emotional moments, like fear, excitement, or even when you're moved by a powerful song. The funny part? You don't control it at all. Your brain sends the signal automatically, and your skin reacts before you even realize it. Basically, goosebumps are your body's way of expressing something. Words can't, like a little glitch message from your nervous system. 8. Numbness. Sit cross-legged too long, and suddenly your leg feels like it's covered in tiny pins and needles. That strange, prickly sensation is called paresthesia. What causes it? Pressure on your nerves or blood vessels reduces flow. Then when released, your nerves flood your brain with signals trying to reboot your feeling. It's not real needles or pain, it's just scrambled messages as your nervous system jumps back online. That weird detachment where your leg feels numb or like it's asleep is your body rebooting. Usually temporary, it's a classic body glitch we all know well. 9. Brain freeze. Few things are as cruel yet delicious as biting into ice cream on a hot day and suddenly experiencing brain freeze. It's that sharp, chilling pain that shoots up into your forehead, like your brain just bumped into an ice wall. Scientifically known as sphenopalatine ganglionalgia, brain freeze happens when something cold touches the roof of your mouth. The cold shocks tiny blood vessels there, causing them to constrict, tighten, and then dilate, expand rapidly. This sudden change sends confusing pain signals to your brain, which mistakenly registers the pain as coming from your forehead, hence brain freeze. 10. Shivering more than just a response to cold. While shivering is your body's obvious way of generating heat through rapid muscle contractions, anxious or overwhelmed, that's because your nervous system is wired to react to stress as if it's a physical threat, even when there's no cold. Shivering can be like your body hitting the fight or freeze button prematurely or without clear cause. Shivering might sometimes confuse your brain and body about real risks. 11. Teeth chattering. Teeth chattering is your jaw muscles shaking rhythmically, kind of like the cartoon stereotype of being cold. The main reason? It's your body's way to generate heat, just like shivering. But teeth chattering can also happen during strong emotions. Fear, anxiety, stage fright. Your nervous system doesn't always know the difference between freezing outside and frozen inside from nerves, so it sends the same shaky command to your jaw muscles either way. 12. Sneezing. Fits with no allergens. We've all been there, the sneezing fit out of nowhere with no obvious irritant in sight, no dust, pollen, or pepper. So what's your sneezing about? Enter the trigeminal nerve, the main sensory nerve of your face. Sometimes it freaks out in response to sudden changes like cold air, bright lights, or even emotional stress, firing off sneezes without a real cause. It's a wild miscommunication between your sensory input, what you're feeling, and your motor output, sneezing. Your sneeze reflex basically goes haywire like a broken electrical circuit randomly firing. 13. Hiccups. Hiccups, the little glitch everyone knows. You can be sitting quietly in a meeting and suddenly, hic, your body decides to embarrass you. So what's going on? It all comes down to your diaphragm, the muscle under your lungs that helps you breathe. Sometimes it spasms out of nowhere, and right after that, your vocal cords snap shut, creating that classic hic sound. Why does it happen? Eating too fast, chugging fizzy drinks, or even a sudden change in temperature can set it off. And sometimes your brainstem just fires off the wrong signal for no real reason. The funny part? Scientists still don't fully know why hiccups exist at all. But one thing's for sure, they're the most annoying little error message your body can throw at you. 14. Tinnitus. Ever sit in total silence and notice that faint ringing, buzzing, or even humming sound in your ears? That's not just your imagination, it's something called tinnitus. Tinnitus happens when the parts of your ear and brain that process sound aren't getting normal input. Maybe you've been exposed to really loud noise, maybe it's stress messing with your nerves, or maybe it's just age-related changes. Whatever the cause, when your ears don't pick up enough real sound, your brain kind of panics. And here's the wild part. Your brain doesn't like silence. Instead of leaving things quiet, it fills in the blanks by generating its own sound. That's why you hear ringing, buzzing, or even a faint static that isn't actually there. So while tinnitus isn't usually dangerous, it can definitely be frustrating. 15. Eye floaters. Ever spot tiny squiggles or thread-like shapes drifting across your field of vision, especially against a clear blue sky? Those are eye floaters. Floaters are clumps of collagen or other debris that drift in the vitreous, the gel inside your eyeball. When light passes through, those bits cast shadows on your retina, creating the moving spots. 16. Sneezing when you're full. This one is rare but fascinating. The sneation reflex is sneezing triggered by a full stomach. Yes, after finishing a big meal and leaning back, some people trigger sneezes. This happens because your vagus nerve, the one linking brain and gut, gets stretched and accidentally nudges the sneeze center in your brain. It's an example of how closely connected your body's systems really are. So while it sounds bizarre, a sneeze after eating is generally harmless and shows how intertwined your internal wiring is.